I think of myself as a joyful person.
Yeah, yeah.
And for a while, I didn't have the capacity to be that.
Right, right. And are you feeling like you're finding it again now?
I
Yeah,
am.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 That's the vibe I'm getting from you.
Yeah.
Welcome, Allison.
Hey, Patty.
Thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
So we're gonna chat a little bit about your experience with Wired for Wellness, the coaching program. Yeah. So Elson, what was going on with you? Like, what was the issue you were having that led you to want to try Wired for Wellness?
Well, I had been sick for a very long time. It
Okay.
started with pain in my 20s that ended up being misdiagnosed. And I had dealt with anxiety and depression for the majority of my life. So by
Okay.
the time I found Wired for Wellness, I had tried therapy, I had done yoga, meditation, EMDR. I had done it all, worked with a functional doctor, and I hadn't really gotten any real lasting results with any of it.
Okay. And how long had that process been going on for?
Oh gosh, I mean it's been longer than I care to admit. I
Right.
I saw my first therapist probably as a teenager. And then pain, from my 20s to now, which has been over a decade.
Okay. And what was a typical day like for you with all of these things that you were struggling with?
It had gotten pretty hard to function. Waking up in pain sort of set the tone for the day. And I felt like I was just kind of doing everything I could to get through the day, just in survival mode, kind of doing the things that I had to do. And my life had shrunk. I wasn't doing many of the things that brought me joy. I was just trying to get by. I grew up an athlete, so, running, tennis, yoga, hiking, all of those things that were a big part of my life and what brought me a lot of joy. I stopped doing all of them and I started to become really rigid with the way I would spend my time and energy just because, with chronic illness, I didn't have a lot of energy to spend. And so my mindset was very much focused on survival.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. So, what was the worst part of living that way, do you think?
Oh, I think of myself as a joyful person.
Yeah, yeah.
And for a while, I didn't have the capacity to be that.
Right, right. And are you feeling like you're finding it again now?
I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the vibe I'm getting from you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's changed. I mean, it's it's sad to have gone there, but I'm so glad that I did because I don't think I would have, taken the step to do this. I've been doing the exercises with Wired for Wellness for 6 months now.
Okay.
And it has absolutely changed my experience in every way. I mean, every
Yeah.
aspect of my life feels different now.
What has that
So
been
I'm
like? Like
sad that
doing,
I went
yeah,
there, but I'm so glad because this has been absolutely life changing, and I don't think I would have found it otherwise.
right. So what has that been like? Like moving through the Wired for Wellness program, like how has that been? What's that been like?
So I've done the program pretty independently. I haven't done any one-on-one sessions, but I started just doing the educational components and the guided processes on my
Yep.
own. So, I've done that a lot, just like, before bed, I go to I go to bed with your featherings most nights.
Yes.
And then I typically try to start the day with one of the guided processes just in case, if I wake up in pain, it's a quick way for me to shift my mindset and kind of start the day on the right note.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay. So your pain hasn't fully resolved.
No, and
No.
there's
So how has the
I'm
experience of it changed? Like how has it shifted?
so I think that now, even if I'm in pain, I don't stop my life over it anymore like I used to. So now, even if I'm in pain, I still go through the day. I still make plans. I'm exercising again, which I love.
Okay.
And yeah, it just doesn't seem like as much of a threat. It's something that I acknowledge and I take it more as information than something that, clouds my entire existence like it used
Right.
to.
Yeah, so you it doesn't sound like you're identified with it in the same way as you were.
No,
Nice. And it's not running your life anymore.
no,
Yay.
definitely not. Yes, you.
Yeah. All right. So, and the changes that you've been making in your life, it's because it sounds like you've been making some changes to make your life better. Talk to
Yes.
me about that. Like what has that been like?
Oh, well, I love the like creating the life that you love exercise.
Mhm.
I've spent quite a lot of time on that one and really, kind of getting a clear vision of what I want my life to look like. And so it started with a new job that I'm really excited about.
Nice.
I left one that wasn't really serving me, and yeah, I'm taking action. Being more active, exercising more, connecting more with friends. Old and new, and really thinking about each day, like moving towards that life that I want, rather than just surviving.
Mhm. So you're sounds like you're doing it consciously and kind of choosing it as opposed to just being in default mode. I love
Definitely.
that. Yeah. So when you think back to however many years ago that was now, 10, 15 years, whatever it was, when all of this struggle, the suffering started for you, how is life different for you now in comparison?
Oh gosh. I mean, the way I exist in the world is so different. The way I feel in my body when I'm at the grocery store or in line somewhere. And it's interesting because that's not something that I recognized as a problem until I found relief and realized I was like, oh, there's this state of worry that's just not there. And I don't think I knew how much that impacted me on my day to day.
Right. Right. So it's sort of like that monkey is kind of off your back now.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, and there's more bandwidth. Now I have the capacity, all the energy that I used to spend on worrying, I can put towards things that are productive.
That's what I was just going to ask you. So how have what have you done with all this energy that you've liberated? Right? Yeah.
Well, I've gotten the new job. I'm thinking of ideas of a new side business, planning some trips, making plans, things that I'm excited about.
Right.
So thinking about the future more than, just getting through today.
Excellent. All right. Well, so one last question for you. What would be your advice to someone that maybe was struggling with some similar issues that you were struggling with, right? Pain, anxiety, depression, chronic illness of all different sorts that maybe had tried all of the things, right? And they weren't getting anywhere, things weren't shifting. What would be your advice to them around Wired for Wellness?
Oh gosh, I can't. Yeah, like I would say, start as soon as you can because, I know what it's like to struggle for a long time. And, I tried all the things and I have never experienced anything that gave me so much relief so quickly. And, you may need to continue to pursue other treatments, but, when you're suffering and you're struggling, having something that makes a difference on day one is huge. And
Yeah.
that was definitely my experience of this. So I
Wow.
would say just try it.
Day one. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you so much, Patty.
All right.